Welcome to the HR Tech Nexus Podcast, the go-to resource for small and mid-sized businesses ready to revolutionize recruiting and onboarding. Twice a week, we deliver actionable, budget-friendly tech strategies to help you compete for top talent globally without enterprise-level costs. If you're drowning in manual hiring tasks, battling compliance headaches, or stuck with clunky HR systems, you're in the right place. We break down tools like AI-driven applicant trackers, seamless onboarding platforms, and compliance automation, all scaled for SMEs. Join me as we unpack real-world strategies from HR leaders who've slashed time to hire, boosted retention, and built future-ready teams.
Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us. Today we're going to be tackling something pretty important, I think, for anyone out there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Looking to build like a really top-notch team.
Yes.
And that is crafting job descriptions that actually work.
It's so important.
We're going to be looking at this great article from HR Tech Nexus.
Yeah.
Really insightful stuff there.
Great resource.
By the way.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, if you're at all interested in staying on top of like all the latest trends.
Definitely.
In the HR world.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Check out HR Tech Nexus.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about job descriptions today. And I think it's interesting because
it is.
If you think about it,
your
job description is really the first impression that a lot of potential candidates are going to get of your company.
Right.
And according to this article,
yeah,
they say that a job posting with a clear and compelling description, one that really reflects your company culture, can increase applicant interest by almost 30%.
Wow, 30%.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, that's not just a minor boost.
Yeah.
That's a sign that you're doing something right.
Yeah.
To attract top talent.
So clearly something's going on here.
Definitely.
So let's sort of unpack this a little bit.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's going on beneath the surface?
I think a lot of it comes down to like the psychology of job searching. When a candidate sees a description and it's clear and concise. Yeah. And it speaks to their values. Yeah. It just builds trust. Yeah. And transparency.
Right.
They feel like the company is being upfront about what the role entails, and that makes them much more likely to apply.
It's like you're inviting them into a conversation rather than just like shouting demands from a mountaintop.
It is. It's about creating that connection right from the get-go. And this article in HR Tech Nexus really dives deep into how to do that.
Yeah.
One of the first things they emphasize is clarity.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to like the role summary.
Yeah.
They suggest focusing on the essentials and using bullet points to highlight key responsibilities. For example, they gave the example.
Okay.
You will lead a creative team, manage project deadlines, and oversee client communication.
Okay.
What do you think about that kind of phrasing?
I like that they use "you will."
Yeah.
Because it speaks directly to the candidate.
Yeah.
It helps them envision themselves in the role.
Right.
And bullet points make it super easy to just scan the information.
Yeah. No one wants to wade through paragraphs and paragraphs of text when they're looking at, dozens of job postings.
Right.
It's about respecting their time.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
And the article, they back this up with some pretty compelling data.
Okay.
They cite a LinkedIn study that found that job postings with detailed descriptions get 36% more resumes.
36% more just from being detailed and clear.
It's proof that candidates crave information.
Yeah.
They want to know exactly what they're getting into. And detailed descriptions signal that, the company values transparency.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
So I've talked about clarity.
Yeah.
But the article also really stresses the importance of injecting company culture into those job descriptions.
It's so important.
And it's not just about listing perks or, ping-pong tables.
Exactly. Right. It's about weaving in those elements that make your company unique. And the article gave this great example of this.
Yeah.
Our team values creativity, flexibility, and a fun work culture that encourages innovation.
I mean, that's so much more engaging than just a generic list of benefits.
Yeah, it is. It gives potential candidates like a glimpse into your company's personality. It's like saying, this is who we are. This is what we're about. If this resonates with you, come join us.
It's an invitation.
It is.
Not just a job posting.
Exactly.
It's great. And it helps attract the people who are really aligned with your values.
It does. Cultural fit is so important for long-term success.
Absolutely.
You know, both for the employee and the company.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, speaking of attracting the right people, this article also emphasizes the importance of inclusivity.
Yes.
In job descriptions. Yeah. Why is that such a crucial element?
Well, for starters, using inclusive language, it broadens your talent pool. You know, you're not unintentionally excluding anyone based on their gender or background or other factors.
And I mean, it just makes good business sense.
It does.
To have a diverse range of perspectives and experiences on your team.
It does.
Right.
Absolutely. And beyond that, you know, using inclusive language sends a powerful message about your company's values.
Right.
It shows that you're committed to creating a welcoming and equitable workplace for everyone.
It's a reflection of your company culture.
It is.
And your commitment to building a really, truly diverse and inclusive team.
Yeah.
And
the article even recommends using tools like Gender Decoder to help identify and eliminate potentially biased language.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic resource.
It's like having an extra set of eyes. To catch those subtle things that might slip through the cracks. Right?
Yeah.
So we've covered clarity, company culture.
Yeah.
Inclusivity. But in today's digital world, we have to talk about SEO.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You can craft the most amazing job description. But if it's not optimized for search engines, the right candidates might never even see it.
It's like having this hidden treasure chest that no one can find.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So how do we make sure that our job descriptions are discoverable?
Well, the article gives some great advice on this.
Okay.
You know, incorporating keywords. Naturally, for example. Instead of saying like marketing guru or something like that. Use specific terms. Like social media manager. Or content marketing specialist. You know, things like that.
It's about thinking like a job seeker.
It is.
What would they actually type in?
Exactly.
To a search engine.
And don't forget about tools. Like Google Trends.
You know, which can help you see which keywords are trending in your industry.
It's a blend of common sense and data-driven insights.
It is.
Right.
You need both.
Yeah.
To create job descriptions that stand out.
Yeah.
And get noticed by the right people.
Okay. So we've laid a really great foundation here.
We have.
We've covered the importance of clarity, company culture, inclusivity, SEO. But what about the nitty-gritty details? What are those essential components that every job description needs to nail?
That's a great question, and that's what we're going to delve into next.
Okay, great.
Let's start with qualifications and skills.
Okay.
You know, that section, it's a crucial part of the job description because it sets clear expectations for potential candidates.
This is where we get specific about what we're looking for.
Exactly. And the HR Tech Nexus article recommends making a clear distinction between what's necessary and what's preferred. And they gave a great example. Minimum of 3 years of project management experience, familiarity with agile methodologies. What I like about this is it avoids overwhelming candidates with like a laundry list.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those job descriptions that list like a million qualifications. And it's like, who could possibly tick every single box?
It's intimidating. And it can discourage great candidates from applying.
So it's all about finding that balance.
It is, yes.
Right. Between setting clear expectations, but not scaring people away.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what we're going to continue to explore in the next part.
Okay, sounds great.
Of our deep dives, where we'll delve deeper into the essential components of a job description.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too. So, welcome back, everyone. Let's pick up right where we left off. Exploring those essential components of a top-notch job description.
Yes.
We were just about to dive into the responsibilities section.
Okay, so we've covered qualifications. Now it's time to paint a picture of what the person in this role will actually be doing day to day.
This is where things can get a little bit tricky.
Okay.
You want to be clear. You want to be specific. But you don't want to bore people with like a dry list of tasks.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot.
It is.
Between being informative and being engaging.
Yes.
So what tips does this article offer?
They really emphasize using active and engaging language. Right. So instead of saying like responsible for managing projects, try something like this. Okay. Lead and inspire a team of talented project managers to deliver exceptional results.
Oh, I see the difference.
Right.
It's not just about what they'll be doing.
Yeah.
It's about the impact they'll have. And I think when you use that kind of active language, it helps candidates really visualize themselves in the role.
It does.
Taking ownership.
Yeah.
Making a difference.
It's almost like you're giving them a sneak peek into their future success at the company.
I love that. And while we're on this topic of engaging language, we should probably also talk about avoiding industry jargon or overly technical terms that might just totally alienate potential candidates.
Absolutely.
I've definitely come across those job descriptions.
Oh, yeah.
That feel like they were written in some kind of secret code.
It happens all the time.
Yeah.
But remember, clarity is key.
Yeah.
You want anyone who reads this job description, regardless of their background, to understand what the role is about.
It's about making them feel welcome.
Yes.
And included right from the beginning.
Yeah. Speaking of inclusivity.
Yeah.
The article also touches on the call to action.
Right.
You know, making it welcoming.
Yeah, the call to action is that final push that motivates candidates to actually take that step.
Yes, exactly. And they give a great example.
Okay.
Apply today to join our team and innovate with us.
Oh, I like that.
Right.
It's not just a generic apply now.
Yeah.
It's like an invitation.
It is.
To be a part of something bigger.
Yeah, it creates a sense of excitement and purpose.
Totally. Okay. So we've talked about the essential components.
Yes.
You know, qualifications, responsibilities, that call to action. But now I'm kind of curious about what are some of the common mistakes that people make?
Oh, absolutely.
When they're writing job descriptions.
Yeah.
I bet we've all seen a few head scratchers out there.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
What does this article say?
Well, they do a great job of breaking down some of those common pitfalls. One of the biggest ones is using vague titles and requirements.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen some job titles where it's like, what does that even mean?
I know. They give a perfect example, like assistant to versus executive assistant to the CEO.
Right. The second one is so much more specific.
Yes.
And informative.
Yeah.
You know, it tells you exactly what you'd be doing.
It does.
And who you would be supporting.
And it sounds more prestigious, which can be a big draw for candidates.
Right. And then when it comes to requirements, I think the article cautions against listing too many qualifications.
You're setting the bar.
Like, you're setting this bar
way too high.
Impossibly high. Before candidates even get a chance.
Exactly.
To show you what they can do.
You want to attract qualified candidates.
Yes.
But you don't want to make them feel like they need a PhD and 10 years of experience to even apply.
So focus on the must-haves.
Yes. You know, those essential skills and experience that are absolutely crucial for success in the role.
And you can always list like preferred qualifications.
You can.
But don't let those overshadow the core requirements.
Yeah. Another common mistake they mention is just writing overly long descriptions.
Oh, yeah. No one wants to read, you know, a wall of text.
Yeah. They suggest aiming for between 700 and 1,000 words.
Okay.
Get to the point. Be concise.
Yeah.
Avoid redundant language.
It's about respecting the candidate's time.
Yeah.
Making sure that the information is easy to digest.
Absolutely.
Easy to read.
Speaking of time, we have to touch on one of the most important aspects they highlight.
Okay.
Keeping those job descriptions fresh.
Right. It's not a set it and forget it
kind
of thing.
The world of work is constantly evolving.
Right.
And so are the roles within organizations.
Right.
You know, new technologies emerge.
Yeah.
Company priorities shift. And even the skills required for certain positions can change over time.
So if you're using a job description, that's like 5 years old.
Uh-huh.
You're essentially trying to attract talent for a job.
Yeah.
that might not even exist anymore.
Exactly. And that's why they emphasize treating job descriptions as living documents.
Right.
They need to be reviewed, refreshed regularly to reflect the current state of the role.
It's like giving your storefront a fresh coat of paint.
Yes.
And making sure your signage is up to date.
I love that.
You want to attract the right customers, or in this case, the right candidates.
The right candidates, yeah.
And that means making sure your message is current and compelling.
And it's not just about updating those technical skills or responsibilities. Think about the language, the tone you're using. Does it still align with your company culture and your values?
Company culture can evolve too.
It can.
Right. And your job descriptions should reflect that.
Absolutely.
Maybe you've become more focused on collaboration or remote work.
Yeah.
All those elements should be woven in.
Yeah, it's all about authenticity.
Yeah.
You want your job descriptions to be a true reflection of what it's like to work at your company today.
So let's say I'm listening to this.
Yeah.
And I'm an HR professional. And I'm feeling really inspired to revamp my job descriptions.
Great.
What's a good starting point?
Okay. Well, they recommend aiming for at least an annual review.
Okay, at least once a year.
But honestly, even more frequently is better. Sure. Especially if you're in a fast-paced industry or if you're noticing that you're not attracting the quality of candidates that you're hoping for.
It's almost like a checkup.
It is, just making sure that everything is running smoothly and aligned with your goals.
And when you do sit down to review these job descriptions, don't just,
don't just dust them off.
Dust them off.
And make a few minor tweaks.
Yeah.
Really dive deep.
Okay.
Talk to the people who are currently in those roles.
Right.
Get their input and make sure the descriptions capture the essence of what their day-to-day experience is like.
Sometimes the best insights come from the people.
They do.
Who are actually doing the job.
Who are living and breathing the job every day.
Every single day.
They can give you invaluable insight into what makes the role challenging, rewarding, and unique.
So it's a blend of data-driven insights.
It is.
And human connection.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what makes HR so fascinating.
Me too. It's about finding that balance.
It's about finding that balance.
Between the analytical and the human elements.
And this is why I think resources like HR Tech Nexus are so incredibly valuable.
They are.
Because they provide that data-driven foundation.
Yes.
But they also emphasize the importance of human connection.
Yeah.
And really understanding the evolving needs of both employees and employers.
Absolutely.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final part of our deep dive into writing job descriptions that really shine.
Yeah, it's been a fascinating journey so far.
It really has. We've covered so much.
We've talked about clarity and being concise. Yeah. The power of showcasing company culture. Yeah. Embracing inclusivity. We've even ventured into the future a little bit. Thinking about how technology might even transform job descriptions in the years to come.
It's exciting.
But I want to kind of circle back
to a point that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
And that's the importance of updating.
Yes.
Those job descriptions regularly.
Regularly, yes.
Why is that so important?
Well,
especially in today's world where things are changing so rapidly.
It all comes down to staying relevant. The world of work is constantly changing.
Yeah.
And your job descriptions need to keep pace.
Right.
New technologies emerge, company priorities shift, and the skills needed for certain roles that they evolve over time.
So if you're using a job description that's 5 years old, you're essentially trying to attract talent for a job that might not even exist anymore.
Exactly. And that's why HR Tech Nexus really emphasizes this idea of creating job descriptions as living documents.
They need to be alive.
They do. They need to be reviewed, refreshed regularly to reflect the current state of the role and the company.
It's like, if you think about it like a storefront, you got to give it a fresh coat of paint every once in a while.
You do.
Make sure your signage is up to date.
Yeah.
You want to attract the right customers, or in this case, the right candidates.
The right candidates.
And to do that, you need to make sure that your message is current and compelling.
I love that analogy. And it's not just about updating the technical skills or responsibilities.
Yeah.
Think about the language you're using.
Yeah.
The tone. Does it still align with your company culture?
Yeah. Company culture can evolve too.
It can.
And your job description should reflect that.
It should.
You know, maybe you're more focused on collaboration now or remote work. You know, all those elements need to be woven into the fabric.
Absolutely.
The job description.
It's all about authenticity.
Yes.
You know, you want those job descriptions to be a true reflection
of what it's like to work at the company.
Yeah. Of what it's like to work at your company today.
So let's say I'm an HR professional.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to this. And I'm inspired.
Great.
Where do I start?
Okay, well.
How often should I be reviewing these?
They recommend aiming for at least an annual review.
At least once a year.
But honestly, even more frequently is better.
Oh.
Especially if you're in like a fast-paced industry. Or if you're noticing that you're not attracting the caliber of candidates that you're hoping for.
It's almost like a checkup.
It is. Just making sure everything is running smoothly and aligned with your goals.
And when you do sit down to review these job descriptions. Don't just kind of dust them off.
Don't just dust them off.
Right. Make a few minor tweaks.
Make a few little tweaks. No.
Yeah.
You really got to dive deep.
Yeah.
Talk to the people who are in those roles.
Right.
Get their input. Make sure those descriptions are capturing what their day-to-day experience is actually like.
Sometimes the best insights come from the people who are actually doing the job.
Who are living and breathing the job every day.
Every single day.
They can give you invaluable insight into what makes the role challenging, rewarding, and unique.
So it's a blend of data-driven insights.
It is.
And human connection.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what makes HR so fascinating.
Me too. It's about finding that balance.
It is.
Between the analytical and the human element.
And that's why these resources like HR Tech Nexus are so valuable.
They are.
Because they provide that data-driven foundation.
Yeah.
But they also emphasize that human connection.
They do.
And really understanding the evolving needs of both employees and employers.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a call to action.
I love it.
You know, if you're feeling inspired, take one small step today to improve your job descriptions.
Yeah.
Maybe it's clarifying a vague title, injecting some company culture, or using more inclusive language. Every small step counts.
Like that.
Remember crafting effective job descriptions. It's an investment in your company's future.
Right.
It's about attracting the right talent, building a strong employer brand.
It is.
And creating a workplace where everyone can thrive.
And if you're looking for more insights and inspiration, be sure to check out HR Tech Nexus.
Yes.
They're an incredible resource.
They are.
For all things HR tech.
Yes.
And they're constantly exploring those evolving trends.
They are.
That are shaping the future of work.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights.
Yes.
Into crafting job descriptions that truly shine.
Thanks for joining us on the HR Tech Nexus podcast. Ready to take action? Head to hrtechnexus.com to access today's episode resources, including actionable guides, real-world case studies, and free tools to streamline your hiring and onboarding. Don't miss our weekly newsletter for bite-sized HR tech hacks, software comparisons, and compliance tips tailored to SMEs. No enterprise-level budgets required. And if you're ready to transform your HR workflows with custom-built solutions, book a free discovery call with our experts. We design strategies that fit your company's size, industry, and global needs. Until next time, innovate boldly, outsmart the status quo, and let's build HR teams that don't just compete, they dominate.